and welcome to our introduction to exhibiting video. This is the first in a series of short videos designed to help you make the most of exhibiting, not only when exhibiting at CRE, but at any conference or exhibition. You may be a newbie or a long-term exhibitor, but hopefully there will be some useful tips and reminders for you. It's all pretty basic stuff really, but it's surprising how often we forget the basic things about exhibiting. So my aim is purely to make you think about how you can get the most from being at an exhibition. Exhibitions are one of the primary ways to meet existing customers and supporters and to be introduced to potential new ones. But without the right approach, they can be a waste of time or resource. I want to make sure that you don't have a bad experience when you are exhibiting at CRE or when you exhibit elsewhere. So first, let's address the question, why exhibit? During the COVID-19 pandemic, we were instructed by governments to socially distance from each other. Exhibitions were banned, and online meetings, Zoom, Teams, FaceTime, became the norm for many of us. So why go back to meeting face-to-face in an age when technology makes it easy to research information and even meet with our clients online? Oh, my old boss Trevor Foley once said, "What other media uses all five senses to communicate and offers permission, not interruption marketing?" People are choosing to visit your stand and experience your brand. That's an incredibly powerful proposition. Arnold Vink, head of marketing for Xerox Engineering Systems, explains, "You never have a better chance of getting your message across than at an exhibition. All those months of running ads and sending mailings, and suddenly there in front of you is the customer, and at last marketing has a human dimension." Some months before the pandemic, we had an idea for a marketing campaign that emphasised the benefits of trying things in person. Touching, tasting, hearing, seeing, trying things for yourself and meeting the people behind the product or service. These are all things that are synonymous with face-to-face exhibitions. It was a more timely campaign than we could ever have imagined. Meeting someone face-to-face to discuss a project is far better than a stilted video call with an awkward background and "you're still on mute" being the most common phrase. Our Nothing Beats campaign launched during the pandemic, and hopefully it highlights that there is very much a role still for face-to-face events. The Association of Event Organisers published some statistics on their website that tell us that the vast majority of business leaders see meeting face-to-face as a vital element in the marketing mix. People visit exhibitions eager to discover new things, and being at an exhibition is generally considered to be good for your organisation. But a key question to ask is, are we planning to exhibit at the right sort of exhibition for our product, service, message? If you're wanting to communicate with church leaders and decision makers from across all denominations, then CRE is a good place to exhibit. But it wouldn't necessarily be the right exhibition for all organisations. For example, I wouldn't suggest that the National Secular Society take a stand at CRE. A recent exhibitor in our Southwest exhibition was trying to raise funds for the rebuilding of a church in Oxfordshire, many miles from where the visitors to the exhibition were likely to come from. In all honesty, it was the wrong exhibition for them to exhibit at. They came in very late in the day, and had I realised beforehand what they were actually planning to promote at the exhibition, I would probably have suggested they reconsider. So how do you know if it's right for you? Well, check the available information from the organiser, their website, their social media. These things will give you an excellent idea of who they are aiming to attract to the show. Ask the organiser for demographics on their visitors in the past. they should be happy to oblige and tell you the profile of what their typical visitor is like. Check out the exhibitor list. Are your competitors going to be there? Why not contact some of the other exhibitors at random to just ask them for their opinions on the event and why they will be exhibiting there? And if necessary, well, attend first as a visitor with a view to exhibiting at a future exhibition. If the exhibition you're considering is not a perfect match, then another question you might want to ask is, should we try cross-exhibiting? You may have been to CRE, seen stands there and thought, oh, I wonder why they're exhibiting here. Well, cross-exhibiting is where you cross over to another marketplace other than your own because you believe your product or service could be marketed in that marketplace. Here's one example. A supplier of office furniture was already exhibiting at all the obvious office equipment shows along with all their competitors. They decided to exhibit at the Solicitors and Legal Secretaries exhibition for a change because they reasoned that lawyers have smart offices and need good furniture, but are probably not likely to go to an office furniture show. The experience was so successful that they started to do other shows aimed at professional groups. Here are some examples of cross-exhibitors that we've had at CRE over the years. The Devon and Cornwall Constabulary exhibited with us once. They were wanting to recruit specials from faith communities. The Teacher Training Agency were wanting to encourage people to go into teaching. NHS Blood and Transplants exhibited because they wanted to encourage people to donate blood or become organ donors, and they thought that the church and the faith community would be a good place to try that out. So the principles I've mentioned can apply to any event that you are considering. But what about CRE? Why exhibit there? Well, first and foremost, the Christian Resources Exhibition is a trade event. It provides a marketplace for organisations who have something that they want to offer to the church trade. It is the only event of its kind in the UK. There are many Christian and faith-based events that you can exhibit at, but you will usually find that they are Bible weeks, they're conferences, they're festivals or prayer and worship gatherings. The people attending those events are not primarily looking for resources and equipment for their churches. The numbers going to their events may be higher than you will find at CRE, but they tend to be general public and not decision makers and church leaders. Those coming to CRE have a different mindset. They have come because they want to see new products and ideas for churches. They may have come with something particular in mind, or they may be on a voyage of discovery. But in general, they will be open to meeting and discussing face-to-face with suppliers. Most exhibitors would agree that it's far better to have a dozen meaningful conversations than to be giving away hundreds of leaflets to people who will probably just put them in a bin. A focused event is far better than a scattergun approach. At CRE, you don't play second fiddle to a concert or conference, fitting in around the main thing that's happening, where you may have to wait until a break in the programme to even see any visitors on the exhibition floor. At CRE, the exhibitor is the main attraction, and visitors are coming with a mindset to discover and meet with exhibitors. And don't forget how exhibitors themselves are also often involved in their churches, and we find that much commerce and networking takes place between exhibitors. Many a great initiative has started as a result of a chance meeting amongst exhibitors at CRE. So exhibitions can be an essential part of the marketing mix and an opportunity to meet new potential customers whilst also meeting existing customers face to face. In our next video, we'll look at some of the key things to consider when booking a space at an exhibition and when preparing for the event itself. But for now, I'll leave you with a taste of the previously mentioned Nothing Beats campaign.
Nothing beats sitting on it, hearing it, tasting it, wearing it, handling it, trying it, comparing it.
The copier produces 1,000 copies for £4. The Riso digital printer produces 1,000 copies for £1.20 at 140 pages per minute.
Discussing it.
The interesting thing about this centre is a very difficult breed on a very small site.
Buying it. Recommending it. I definitely recommend it.
It's always good to have resources, and this is very resourceful, so it's a great place to be.
Nothing beats being here. Buy your tickets online now. creonline.co.uk/tickets.